今集毅行者帶大家嚟到香港視覺藝術中心，參加一個由著名藝術家 Richard Woldendorp 同何永賢合作，名為角度嘅攝影展。跟住落嚟，我哋就睇下呢兩位藝術家嘅訪問啦。Richard Woldendorp 擅長由高空俯瞰地面嘅攝影技術，幾十年嚟獲得無數嘅獎項，係澳洲攝影藝術嘅領導者。
So Richard, I know that you have studied commercial arts before, and and you like paintings and drawings before. So what made you focus on photography instead?
When I finished with painting, after a couple of years, I started to take photographs. It was really still a bit of both, and in order to have to be able to do what I do now, I had to first of all start with commercial photography, where I could make a living out of what people wanted, really. So I photographed for Hammersley Iron, which was the iron ore company, for the Royal Flying Doctor. I did a book on the wool industry, but that was really working for clients. Yes.
So how long have you been doing photography?
I've been doing photography for 60 years. So it is a very interesting, I think that is for me interesting, but also for the photographic world itself. I've seen the technique improve, not just in cameras. My first was a folding camera, you know, with film. You had to wind it on, and you had to take exposures somewhere and hope for the best. But then now we have this digital technology, the gap. My first pictures were only in black and white. We didn't have color.
Yes. What do you think is the greatest challenge in creativity? So what would you do if you run out of creativity?
Well, I don't know what it is, but I'm slow maturing, and that helps. But also I think of reforming. You see, I'm thinking that I had the transition where I had to communicate in photography. Now I can do abstraction, more abstraction. But what you look at has an optical reality. I like to go a little bit further and further into abstraction, you know. And if I run out of ideas in photography, because there are some pictures that I've only taken last year, so I still feel there is a challenge, then maybe I start going back into painting the picture, but I'm not sure. At this stage, photography is very satisfying and very creative for me, and I just hope.
Really
No, well, the country is so big, Australia, that there are areas I haven't seen, and they probably are worthy of interpretation in photography, you see.
This picture behind us,
Yeah.
is you have tried like 2 times.
Oh yes,
taking this.
yeah, like this North of Perth and the Pinnacles, and I wanted to. It's actually another one in my book. That's, I think, even better in a way, but it's very different. It offers all sorts of opportunities, but one that I wanted is to show the pinnacles with the shadows were indicating in black, much better the image than the pinnacle itself. And so it gives a point of view from both sides. You see, the shadow is working that picture. And the same as with this one was a very complex. You see the water moving into there. In Australia, you've got, unlike Hong Kong and some of the parts here, you've got enormous tidal movements. You can have 10-meter tide in some places at peak tide once a month. There's about 40, 50 different varieties of growth in a tidal river landscape. So you see the trees, and the water coming in is not destructive because the plants are accommodating the movement.
True colors, right?
Yeah. Oh, the colors are much like they are. You know, I don't overstate colors at all. I don't like colors to be too bright or too. No, they have to be. Form for me is prime. It's the prime natural thing, and then color adds it, because In the early days, I did a lot of black and white photography, and I found that very relevant too, you know, so it's not always color.